Amos McKegg, the Antrim cabin boy who found gold in Otago, founded a hotel business and pioneered tourism on the Taieri River.
Amos McKegg was born here in Carrickfergus near Belfast in the north of Ireland in 1840. His grandfather had come over from Glasgow in the 1790s and settled in the fishing town's Scotch Quarter. Amos's father was a ship's chandler here, and Amos himself grew up around this quay and went to sea when he was just 10 years old.
Like many seafarers, he was tempted ashore by news of gold strikes, deserting from the clipper ship Cairngorm at Melbourne in 1859. After 2 years on the Victorian gold diggings, Amos was tempted to try his luck in Otago when news arrived of the gold discoveries there in 1861. The trouble was securing a berth. Eventually, he stowed away on the Empress of the Seas along with 30 other hopefuls. Discovered at sea, Amos managed to avoid prosecution by impressing the captain when he pitched in with the sailors to reef sails. He was allowed to pay for his passage and land free but penniless in Otago.
Once ashore and sadly broke, he made his way here to the Weatherston's goldfield where he did fairly well. On one occasion, Amos got ahead of a rush of miners seeking to cross the flooded Clutha River by swimming across. Eventually he accumulated enough gold to set himself up in business, establishing a general store and butchery at Otokia.
In 1864, Amos married Catherine Murray there. She was born at Dunblane, Perthshire, Scotland in 1846 and had come to Otago as a teenager with her married sister on the Storm Cloud in 1860. The McKeggs would have 3 sons and 9 daughters together.
They'd run their store at Otokia for about 4 years when Amos returned from a sale of effects from the Bush Inn at Henley with the news that he had bought the place. Rebuilt and renamed as the White House, this hotel was to stay in the family hands for the next 77 years.
Amos McKegg was quite a character, the subject of one of Thomas Bracken's satirical poems in 1881. He was also an innovator and entrepreneur and loved making public challenges to push some new scheme. As an Irishman of Scottish Presbyterian origin, he was a dedicated Orangeman and could not abide the colour green.
He pioneered a weekly market at Taieri Mouth, and then in the 1880s he began a steam launch up the Taieri River as a tourist venture, often sailing the vessel himself. Catherine, meanwhile, proved to be a superb hostess at the inn and was described by a newspaper in 1904 as the very picture of what a landlady should be. Catherine remained at Henley for some years after Amos's death in 1901. He was remembered as one of the true pioneering characters of the lower Taieri area. The hotel was passed on to their son Amos Jr. and eventually Catherine retired to the North Island, living at Levin with 2 unmarried daughters until her death in 1928, aged 82.